I'm Bran.
And I am Roland.
We're here again with another installment of Fe-BREW-ary. So we have 4 more beers on tap for today.
Well, no, actually they're not on tap.
Touche, my friend. So we have 4 in a bottle for today. So last time we went with 2 New Jersey beers. Today we're going to go with some different ones. Some various places around the country. So let's get started.
So Bran picked all these.
I did.
Which is interesting. So you can tell me why you picked each one.
In large part because of price. But no, in all seriousness, I don't know. They all stood out for me for a specific reason. So I guess we'll go through each one. The Belgian Coffee Porter is this one from it's Selkirk Abbey. I'd never heard of them before, but I was really interested in...
Now, Selkirk Abbey actually a Belgian abbey?
I was trying to look that up right before we started filming. I believe it is. But what caught me about this one was the Coffee Porter. So I'm interested to give this one a shot, or a little more than a shot, but good. So let's dive right in. Cheers.
It's interesting because you like your dark beers, don't you?
I do. I used to not, but now I do. This one definitely has a very strong coffee taste.
Well, the Belgian beers, I really like them. There's one called Lef, which is like I wouldn't call it a lager. It's an ale that's very light.
Okay.
They are traditionally very strong in alcohol, and they have a really rich flavor.
I'd say this one is pretty...
And they're actually made by Belgian monks.
This one's like 8.3% volume, so this is pretty
meaty.
Yeah. And I'm reading on the label now that it's probably not from Belgium, because it says Post Falls, Idaho.
It's interesting, because a lot of the Belgian beers, they are made by monks in abbeys.
Yeah.
And they're using the monk style. So, and
That's
the Belgian style of ale is...
right.
I'm not a big fan of dark beers, but this is perfectly pleasant.
I feel like they've been doing a lot lately with dark beers and adding flavors to them. So they'll do like stouts, which is another one. We got the chocolate stout.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a pretty common theme that I've been seeing lately in my beer excursions. I don't know. I feel like I go out a lot, and I usually go and get various kinds of beer. So, but this is definitely this is one I hadn't seen before, but it's very good. I like the coffee taste.
Now, I found it interesting. The other day, I showed you a trick that we used to have in England, where we used to get a stout, and you used to mix a little Kahlua with it and get like the chocolatey taste.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me a bit of that.
I think that was with the Kahlua was a much stronger chocolatey taste.
Yeah.
But this is definitely a solid taste on its own.
Okay. I can definitely appreciate that. That's not my favorite style, but I appreciate that. I think it's good.
So up next we have a chocolate stout. Oh, we do 2 chocolate stouts. Oh, this is chocolate and peppermint from Twisted. Yeah, do you want to uncork this one or open this one? So this one is
Twisted Manzanita ales.
Right, and manzanita is a type of shrub. It's derived from the Spanish word for manzana, which is apple. So manzita is like little apple, or I guess like little. In this case, it's little shrub. So this one caught my eye because I've been getting really into like chocolate stouts and whatnot, and thank you. So in this one, so there's the chocolate and the peppermint. I'm curious to see how those 2 tastes blend together. Unintentionally, I think I went 3 dark beers today, but that's.
So this is made in San Diego, California.
San Diego, yes. San Diego, translates loosely to whale's vagina. Yes.
It's an Anchorman reference for everybody.
Right. Right. No, we're fully aware of that San Diego does not mean a whale's vagina. I wonder what a whale's vagina actually is in Spanish.
I
don't even know. I don't know either one.
Well,
I know.
Is going to have to clear their browser history tonight.
Generi, what?
It's interesting. You can smell the peppermint.
I taste the peppermint more than I taste the chocolate, which I think is a really interesting flavor note.
I've never had a spicy beer before.
What do you mean a spicy beer?
Because this is kind of spicy because it's got peppermint in it. It's kind of like...
I don't consider that spicy. I've had... You weren't with us when we had the jalapeno beer? That was, like, disgusting. Tina liked it.
If you want to go disgusting, then there's a beer called a Culto, which is like...
Is it in a can?
It's in a can, and it's made... I think it's made by the same people who make Budweiser or something. It's beer mixed with tequila. Which is funny. It's only recently come to America. It's really popular. They have a type called Desperado in France, which is like a lager mixed with tequila, and it's revolting.
Yeah, I can't imagine that'd be good.
Yeah. Anyway, this is nowhere.
This is good. I think we're 2 for 2 for tonight. I personally like these two better than the ones we drank the other night. I'm hoping we continue with this. But yeah, so I like the peppermint's a very strong flavor note. I don't taste the chocolate as much. It's kind of like a secondary flavor. And it's not very stouty. Like sometimes like you're drinking a stout and it's like drinking mud.
Yeah, it's funny. They always say stout makes you stout. But calorie-wise, stout and porters and stuff, the darker the beers actually have fewer calories than the lighter beers.
Why is that? Do you
I
know?
think
I think
that's because it's how it's made, but I think it's because it has lower sugar content or a lower like carbohydrate content.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's why beer lagers are easy to drink, is because they're kind of like light and sweet.
Yeah. No, but I like this. Well, these are probably like higher in calories because they're adding chocolate and peppermint, all those flavors. But
it's interesting. Okay,
no, that's 2 for 2. I feel.
Which one do you prefer out of those two?
That's tough. Probably this one. Probably the Twisted Manzanita.
I would say I prefer the first, but that's.
I've never seen chewy written on the side of a beer.
Chewy.
That's not something
confectionery.
Right. Budweiser invented the word drinkability. They were like,
do you know what this
chewy
would go really well with? Is like a nice slice of chocolate cake or something like that. That would go really nicely.
That would go nicely.
Yeah.
Which chocolate from yesterday? We went to a wine tasting yesterday for Roland and Tina's birthday, and one of the places we went to, they had chocolate that they gave us. So which chocolate do you feel like would have?
So they had white chocolate, milk chocolate,
62% dark, 70.
I would say this would go well with milk chocolate.
I would say milk chocolate. Yeah.
Yeah, because the milk chocolate would have that certain lightness and sweetness which would contrast with this.
Yes, I agree.
Excellent choice, Mr. Bran.
All right, do you have my keys?
Yes, I do.
So for this one, you want to crack open this one, and I'll talk a little bit. So this one was what was the flavor on this one? Oh, that's why I chose this one. So I was between two from the same brewery, the Pig in the Woods.
Yeah.
Pig in the Woods Brewery, based out of Chicago. I was between this one and another one. The other one was kind of like a vanilla hint of flavor. And I opted out of that one because we already had the two chocolates. We had the chocolate just Rogue, and then we had the chocolate with the peppermint. So I opted to go for this one because this was it's aged in it's brewed in bourbon barrels, which I've also been really getting into. So I'm kind of curious. These are also very strong percentage wise, but that's not why I chose. 8%, yeah. So, I mean, a normal beer is like 5. Between like 5, like 5 and like 6.5 is like a pretty normal beer. 8 and up is like fairly strong for a beer. But I'm curious to see how this one.
I'm quite excited about this one. So
right, you and I both love whiskey. So
we love whiskey, and there is a style of beer which is Scottish ale. And the Scots, they have ale, and then they tend to age it in Scotch whiskey barrels.
Okay.
And it's a very distinctive, very strong style, which is interesting. This is a red malt, and you can see from the colour if you hold it up,
it's
which is a traditional Irish style of ale. So it's interesting that you've got like the Irish style ale, which they then age Scottish style in whiskey barrels. And of course, it's American whiskey barrels because it's an American thing. So this is
right.
Cheers.
Cheers. I like the way it smells already. It's definitely got an interesting. It doesn't taste like a normal like whiskey barrel aged.
No, it doesn't have like the oaky things. I really like this. So far, this is my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I always like lighter beers and stuff like this. But I would.
You do, yeah. I also feel like you don't have as much of a sweet tooth as I do. So I think that I probably like the chocolate, the peppermint.
Yeah.
Like, I think that resonates more with me than it does you.
If I ordered this in a pub and had like a nice juicy burger or steak or something with it, I would be very happy indeed.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. I'm not a big fan of the Scottish ales because they tend to be too oaked. And this is really nicely balanced all around. So I'm a big fan of this. It's like light enough for me to enjoy, but it's got the flavour.
Right.
It is interesting though.
Yeah.
What do you make of the smell?
It smells kind of chocolatey. Do you sense that too?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's just that like our glasses are starting to smell chocolatey because of the first two beers.
I'm not sure of the etiquette because with wine you're always meant to use the same glass, and maybe you rinsed out if you're going from red to white. But I imagine
that's true. I
think it's the same for beer tasting.
For beer, yeah.
No, definitely pig in the wood. Finch's Beer Company, good job.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Finch's is definitely. I'd never heard of them before, but I like them. It says ale aged. I was like, maybe it says what kind of whiskey. It does not.
It says in Willet Distillery barrels.
In what kind?
Willet Distillery barrels.
Okay.
So
we're about to look this up.
Yeah, let's see what Willet Distillery is. Willet Distillery. Here we go. In the spring of 1936, the age of 27, Thompson Willett founded Willet Distillery. Kentucky bourbon and Kentucky rye whiskey. There we go.
Okay. So we also, if there are any beers that you'd like us to try, feel free to leave us a comment because, like we said, we're going to do 28 breweries in 28 days, hence Fe-BREW-ary. And I think the other reason I picked these three was there was a Brooklyn lager, not a Brooklyn lager, there's one from Brooklyn Brewery that kind of caught my eye. But I was like, you know what, like Brooklyn's an easy one to find. Like I've never seen, other than Rogue, I've never seen these three in a liquor store.
Rogue make one of my favorite beers of all time, which
Guy.
is Dead Guy Ale. I love that.
You're gonna say that. It is a good beer when it's not in a can.
Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to put your money where your mouth is, mate.
A blind taste test.
Yeah. Right.
All right, Rogue. Speaking of Rogue.
Yes. So, I mean, what can you tell us about this? This I guess is the only. And I wouldn't call it mainstream, but this is the one most.
This is This is the least micro of the brews.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't know. Maybe there's like a huge contingent. Maybe people in San Diego are like absolutely outraged. They're like, we love our Twisted Manzanita. I don't know. I liked Rogue. Rogue was the only one that really I had heard of before picking these up. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been really into the chocolate stout thing lately, and
so they're based in Oregon.
I didn't even know that.
Yep.
So
that's interesting. This is interesting enough.
Hopefully, we don't get dysentery on the Oregon Trail.
All these are 8%, I think you said. This is a lot lighter.
Side note: do they have the Oregon Trail in like the UK? I would imagine not.
I was aware of it, but we didn't really play it at school like you guys did here.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
we loved that game. At least I did. I remember I would always go, and then I remember I was dating this girl, and she.
How many stories begin with that?
I think you said that to me the last time too. I was dating this girl, and her sister bought the boyfriend a shirt that said, "Somebody in your party died of dysentery," which I think is hilarious. So if you play the game, you find that you'll completely understand that reference. But I started laughing hysterically when I first heard that, and she was like, "Okay, so this is a good shirt for him. This is a perfect shirt for him." So.
And then she bought it. And he was like.
And then she bought it, and then he was.
My family died of dysentery. You insensitive bitch. Right.
Yeah, but it was funny. I think he appreciated it.
There we go.
Sorry, that was a complete side story.
Okay, this is interesting though. The ingredients, 11 ingredients, 2 row, whatever that is, C120, chocolate and Rogue Farms Dare and Risk malts, Rogue Farms Rebel hops, rolled oats, roasted barley, chocolate, free-range coastal water, and Pac-Man yeast.
I wonder what Pac-Man yeast is.
Yeah, that's very interesting. All right.
I ain't afraid of no ghost.
quickly.
I think we're about to get interrupted.
Okay, so we will very quickly sample this one.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good head. Out of all of the stouts, this is the biggest head.
When you yelled good head, I was like, okay, rolls.
Kind of mildly chocolatey smell.
It's not as strong of a chocolate taste as I thought it was going to be.
No, I would say out of those three, this is the most like drinkable because it doesn't have the strongest flavour. Well, no, I'm not saying drinkable as in it's the best. I'm saying it's the most drinkable as in you could drink a lot of it. You just keep
drinking it?
Yeah, I think the other two are much stronger flavours, so you could like...
Well, it's interesting. How do you define drinkable? You define drinkable as like you can just keep drinking because there's no
Exactly,
flavor?
So drinkable isn't like you like the taste or it's the quality of the taste. Drinkable means it has the most balanced flavour as in you could drink the most of it. So I'd almost say it has less taste.
How would that be more drink? Wouldn't you think that like
didn't we have this conversation on the last thing? Drinkability is a term that Budweiser came up with to explain
that they can just keep drinking it.
Yeah, so they specifically have like lower flavoured beers because then
you can drink more of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would rather drink I'd rather drink a more flavorful beer than like a flat tasting beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. But I would.
So I would define drinkability as more like the most flavorful. Like I wouldn't say this is a high drinkability. This is like a high tolerability.
Well, no, that would be the high tasteability. Yeah. So I think this is the most drinkable in the context of Budweiser's definition.
Drinkability scale.
Beer because it's got the lowest alcohol content.
Yeah.
They have something called the session beer, which is like 4%, and they call that the session beer because you can do a session where you drink like 8 of them and then not get shit-faced. So this isn't a session beer.
Right.
5.8%.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can.
I don't think any of these are session beers, which is ironic because we just drank four glasses.
I have to admit, we're going to switch to the camera, and I'm going to be like, woo.
Yeah. This is like the Passover where I drank 6 glasses of wine, and I got up and I was like, oh my god, I can't run the bathroom. I went like full Peter Griffin. Like.
So this, I would say, is the most drinkable. It's got the least strong in-your-face flavour. It's got the least strong alcohol thing.
Yeah. I'd say it's definitely, going by your drinkability, well I guess Budweiser's drinkability scale, is in terms of like the least flavor, I would agree that this definitely is the least flavorful of the 4. But I mean it's still good. I think just compared to the other 3 it's not as good.
And I think that is a deliberate choice on Rogue's part because they're like, we want to make, because Rogue are a slightly bigger brewery, so they're probably like, we want to make something that has a slightly more mainstream appeal, so we're going to have to take a step back from the in-your-face flavour.
But it's interesting because I feel like most beer drinkers aren't like, oh, you know what, this beer tastes like chocolate, I'm going to drink that. I feel like that's more of like a not so like beer drinker thing. Yeah. I could be wrong. But
no, I think that's interesting. I mean, it's very interesting the way you like beers and I like beers, and they're very different, and we're almost like yin and yang in terms of the types of beer we drink.
I would 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because, like, I used to love IPAs, and I still do. But I've after I discovered, like, all these, like, breakfast stouts, we should definitely try one of those. Like, have, like, one of those, like, maple syrup. I forgot I think it's
We
Founders.
should actually film this at breakfast one time.
We should, yeah.
Just have those.
Right. Except that neither one of us eats breakfast. We just eat.
We
have breakfast at 5 o'clock in the afternoon usually. Yeah, no, I think that like Founders has like one that's called Breakfast Stout. But after I found those, I really got into these like kind of really flavorful stouts. And I don't know why, but for some reason the stouts just really lend themselves more to these like extra flavors of like vanilla, chocolate, the maple kind of flavors, peppermint as Twisted Manzanita had. Whereas like I think other types of beer do not lend themselves to that as much. What was your favorite out of the 4? What would you say?
We should rank them actually. So my personal favourite was probably Pig in the Wood.
That was your favorite?
Yeah. Then I would probably go Fe-BREW-ary. I would be more likely to drink the Rogue if I had to order a pint in a pub, but I think I just respect what they were doing here with just Manzanita. So there we go.
Okay. I would keep Rogue as the last one. Rogue was definitely my least favorite. And I remember as soon as I took the first sip, I was like, oh, we should have let off with this one. I was a little let down by Rogue because I do like Dead Guy Ale.
But Dead Guy Ale again is kind of inoffensive. It's like I would
really
agree
with that.
Yeah,
wholeheartedly agree with that. I definitely liked. I think I liked the peppermint one the most.
Yeah.
So I would probably put the peppermint one the best. Have Selkirk. I would say Selkirk second, Pig in the Woods third, yeah, and then Rogue fourth. Yeah, I mean it was a tough decision. Like I definitely the other day when we filmed with just the two from New Jersey, I think it was a pretty clear, in my mind it was clear cut that I liked
the Jersey Juice IPA.
the Jersey Juice, not the flying hippo, the hippo, River Horse, right? They have a hippo as their logo, so I always think they're like hippo named, but they're not. So I definitely liked the first one we had the other day, but honestly, Twisted Manzanita, Selkirk, and Finch's beer were all
And I think it comes down to the different styles. I prefer that because it's more my favourite style of beer, which is like a lighter.
Right. That's true too. Yeah. I mean, I like the Rogue, and it's interesting because I think I would have liked the Rogue had I had it in isolation. I would have liked it a lot, and I wonder if I would have tried that one first if I would have liked it more.
And I think also if you put them like Rogue and then some of the specialist beers from like Sam Adams Brewery and stuff like that, which are all the more mainstream ones, I think it would have stood up more because they're going for a slightly different thing here. They're going for slightly more mainstream. Right.
I was going to say, and it's interesting you mentioned Sam Adams because I think that Sam Adams isn't very adventurous with their flavor. I think they always they boast about like having 22, or 20 flavors or whatever it is. But I feel like they're never too far off from just like a normal tasting, whatever kind of beer they're brewing.
And it's I love Sam Adams, and like my introduction to American craft beer was I was not a huge fan of Winston, but my introduction to American craft beer was drinking Sam Adams, and it's been.
That's ironic that you're the Brit was introduced to American craft beer by a pastry, yeah.
But I mean, I will say if I had to pick like my top 5 beers of all time, Sam Adams would probably be up there.
Right. You sounded like you were done filming.
That's okay. Feel free to interrupt, Tina.
So I think we're done filming.
I think we're done. We're done filming now.
No, I heard you guys talking about it, so I.
Well, Tina, come here and get in the camera and. Since you're a cast member.
Okay.
Right. Yes. There we go.
So this is Tina. Show off your new tattoo, Tina. Don't be coy. Yes, that was a fish pun.
This is Tina who plays my wife in Adult Beverages.
They're really getting.
Yeah, in fact, like we barely know each other.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Met him on Craigslist.
Yes. He bought him like a piece of furniture. We need to refilm that segment too, because we were gonna write more McKenna stuff, and we talked about buying furniture. But since we filmed the original piece about like we were gonna talk about moving furniture and like McKenna, I think we've moved like 3 different pieces of furniture, none of which were related to an episode. And they all had to do with just moving shit out of your house.
Hey, we move shit in or out of your house quite often too.
No, I agree. In like the 3 years that we've been friends, I've moved three times. I moved out of Princeton. I moved into Cheryl's. Sorry, Cheryl. She wasn't thrilled about that one. Moved out of when I owned my own business. I moved out of that building. Moved back to my parents' house, and then just bought various pieces of furniture for, I bought it from, I worked it off for Dawn, and then we bought the coffee table that kind of works.
But this beautiful coffee table, which Tina, her massive talent is, she'll get
Yes.
old furniture, do incredible things to it,
Right.
and make it look.
We got to figure out a way to write that into an episode.
Yeah.
Tina,
Is that coffee
Tina
table
would
you
do.
bought for like $35, and
I
Tina
know.
had it for a day, and then it looked like it came from Pier
Right.
1 and was worth
Yeah.
$300. It was amazing.
Yes. And she used real coffee on it. So now it's
Literally a coffee
there's a
table.
double entendre for that coffee table meaning.
I like that.
That was totally intentional.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably wrap up.
Probably because the kids are downstairs killing each other right now.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining us for another Fe-BREW-ary.
Yes.
Make sure you catch up with the next episode
Right.
of Adult Beverages airing on Tuesday.
And I apologize to any brewery. I'm more liberal with the way I speak, whereas Roland's more like, like, hey, shouldn't really talk bad about these breweries. But I'm like, you know what? They should know. They should know that
No,
their
you were
beers.
nice to all of these ones.
To all these, yeah, no.
Yeah, and I mean Rogue.
Well, Rogue, I was kind of Rogue. You could step up your game on the chocolate stout a little bit. I'm just saying, they're an entire coast away. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Tuesday for a new episode.
and
Was this Rogue?
yes.
That one was the Rogue, yeah.
Now, did you like that?
You
I
liked
actually like it, yeah.
No,
You
that's
should try the other three then.
No,
because
you
this
like
is my
that one.
least favorite.
Try this one.
Manzanita.
Because you were saying how you wanted to start with Rogue.
Wait, we gotta do the wine tasting thing.
Yeah. Do you like that one better or worse?
Too chocolatey.
Interesting. That's the drinkability thing I was talking about. Now drink that, or pour it into
Just
Brad's
chug
glass.
it, yeah.
Oh, challenge accepted. Try this one. This one I think you're going to love.
That one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that was too much.
It's fine. I don't think beer opens up the same way wine does.
I don't know if she has enough of it.
She would open up. Fly, eagles, fly.
Tastes more like coffee than chocolate.
Well, that
So
one
which
was
one-
a coffee.
Which
No,
one
no,
are
no.
those?
Wait, which one did you just give her?
I just gave her
Manzanita?
the
The
manzanita.
Manzanita? Okay.
Is
Because
that
that
coffee?
has pepper in as well. It has.
It has
Oh.
peppermint, yeah.
Man.
Are you sure? Oh, okay. This is your spittoon? Sure, why not? So now you gotta drink Pig in the Woods.
And this is the final. This is my favorite. This is a red ale aged in whiskey barrels.
This is definitely the peppermint one. This tastes like Christmas.
Yeah.
Listen, even though I'm Jewish, I still love Christmas.
I like that. I think the best because it's the smoothest. But what's it supposed to taste like?
You like this one the best?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a red
That's fun.
ale that's
How would you
aged in
rank them
whiskey
now?
barrels.
I would say first, Rogue is second.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
The chocolatey one, that's just a special occasion one because it's good, but it's very chocolately. It's just not my taste.
Okay.
Yeah. And I find that really interesting because I picked this one first, and I was saying.
I know. I
Rogue
thought she was gonna
people
pick the
would-
same order you did, but
No, and the Rogue has the drinkability, which is
Yeah.
it doesn't have the overwhelming flavors that these two have.
But this one is very, very smooth.
Right. Okay. We will see you on Tuesday. Cheerio. Happy Fe-BREW-ary.
cheers.
Cheers.